Yo, what up everyone, it's Tyrannosaurus and welcome back to another Pokemon Ultra Sun and Moon video. Now, something interesting happened. In the latest edition of Famitsu, we had an interview between Omori and Iwao, who are the director and producer of Pokemon Ultra Sun and Moon. And so they actually revealed some really interesting information about Pokemon Ultra Sun and Moon, so we're gonna go into each of the different things discussed. The first thing that they said is that after Pokemon Sun and Moon's development, they were thinking that there was more they wanted to do in the Alola region, and that's what brought light to Pokemon Ultra Sun and Ultra Moon. They wanted to offer a game that gave Alola a different feel than the tropical and peaceful feel. They wanted to take a different path, and that actually goes to their second point, that it isn't a sequel, but it takes a slightly different path that almost makes it a different story. Like, if you think about it, if a year from now someone who's new to Pokemon is asking whether to play Sun and Moon or Ultra Sun and Moon, people would probably say just play Ultra Sun and Moon. But since they're making it split, so Pokemon Sun and Moon has the tropical and peaceful story where you're just climbing to be the Island Challenge champion, but Pokemon Ultra Sun and Moon would be kind of a different and darker story, so you could tell the dude to play both of them. Okay, the third thing says that a character called the Ultra Investigation Corps, which is the Ultra Recon Squad, is what's gonna cause the story to change. So from the moment they appear, it's gonna split paths with Sun and Moon. And you can already see in the intro for Ultra Sun and Moon that they've already freaking made it into the Aether base. And we know that they don't belong to this world, they belong to a world where Necrozma stole the light. But the moment they actually confront you in the story is actually when it's gonna just change into something new. Fourth point, this is one of the main ones. There is a main story with different development from Pokemon Sun and Moon, and an additional episode is also prepared after entering the Hall of Fame. From a user who imagines a minor change version such as Emerald or Platinum, it's possible to expect more change. So this is them themselves saying that they're trying to step up from how Emerald was to Ruby and Sapphire and how Platinum was to Diamond and Pearl. They're trying to offer so much more, and you can see that because this is the first same story games where they actually introduced new Pokemon, which are the new Ultra Beasts. There's 3 new Ultra Beasts, and they've never done that for a sister game like this before. So in translation, there's a main story with different development and a new post-game content after beating the Elite Four. You may take this as the Looker missions, but the whole point of the Looker, Nanu, and Annabelle missions was that the Ultra Beasts weren't confronted, so they made their way to Alola and they're causing havoc. I don't think you do the same kind of Looker missions in Ultra Sun and Moon. This is something entirely different. And if you see from the trailer and also in the first point how they wanted to do more with what they created in the Alola region, you can see that they're trying to pick at all the cool things they did, like Kahili being a strong trainer but you don't see her for the whole game, Nina being a trial captain but she doesn't have a trial, even Ryuki. Like, the dude had no purpose. It looked like he was just an Easter egg. Hey, look, a cool trainer. He comes to take the throne. But they're even using him. So it's like they're building on from Pokemon Sun and Moon and giving these characters more purpose. It only makes you think because they added characters like Red and Blue into Sun and Moon. And even if they didn't have any plans and motivations for them back then, right now that they're picking at different elements that they introduced and trying to give them purpose, for all you know, Blue could pop up like halfway through the story. Obviously, he'd be like too OP to join you in like a double battle. But imagine if he like pops up and he's like, oh look, there's an Ultra Wormhole, I'm gonna go check it out. Or if you get interaction between him and Samson Oak, the dudes are related. But it just makes you think. It's something really interesting that they're doing, trying to give all these characters a lot more to them. To see that there is new post-game content, I think there's some cool things to expect. The fifth point talked about how there's new game content where the players can roam around the Ultra Space place. So that's something they already showed us in the trailer. But I guess the question is whether it happens in the story or if in the post game you can just climb back onto Solgaleo and Lunala and, like, almost soaring in the sky, just go all over the place and go back into like Xurkitree's wormhole. But they connect on this a bit later. They say that compared to Pokemon Sun and Moon, catching and raising Pokemon are supposed to be even easier. Now that's a big thing to say because in Sun and Moon they made EV training a lot easier and they made it possible to IV train, which is a huge thing. Like, you have to breed and get like 100 eggs just to get one of the 6 Pokemon on your team. They kind of sped it up and made it easier for people to get a full Wi-Fi team out there. But if it's even easier than that, then I wonder what they're doing. Alright, we've got 2 points left, but these 2 are the biggest ones. In Auras, it was only really possible because of Hoopa. But in this game, they're saying that you're going to be able to go through the Ultra Space ride and actually pop up in front of certain legendary Pokemon. And one of those Pokemon is Mewtwo. Seriously, they say it here that if you're going through Ultra Space and you're riding through, one of the dimensions you can go to is Mewtwo's. Now, obviously, this doesn't mean that Mewtwo is an Ultra Beast, but what they're saying is that you can twist dimensions so much that you can pop up in some random place, like in front of Mewtwo. But yeah, they say some legendary Pokemon, so that means it's obviously more. So maybe you'll find Lugia and Ho-Oh and Mewtwo. I think it'd be a good opportunity here if this is how you can encounter some of the mythical Pokemon, which are the Pokemon that you can't get in games, which are Mew, Celebi, Jirachi. Deoxys was one of them, but they surprisingly put that in Auras. But it'd be cool if they could actually finally make those encounterable, because Those are Pokemon that were shown to everyone's faces for the 20th anniversary of Pokemon, and everyone would love to use them in Wi-Fi battles. It'd be cool if in VGC 2018 you could see people with Jirachi and Celebi on their team. So this would be a really good chance to be able to do that. Alright, we're down to our last point, but it's the best one. If one compares the length of Ultra Sun and Moon to Sun and Moon, Ultra Sun and Moon is twice as long. This is all we need to hear. The story would be like 50% longer itself than Sun and Moon's, because you still got to go through all the development. You got to be introduced to Team Skull, introduced to Aether, introduced to Lucamine. She probably is going to be evil, and then they're going to team up with Team Skull, and then maybe you get cool with Lucamine, and then you get the Ultra Recon Squad. It makes you think though, how could you say twice as long compared to Sun and Moon? That's actually huge. If you think about it, Sun and Moon was short though. Like, you played through and they were telling you exactly where to go with those red flags, and next thing you know, you're fighting Kukui with his glasses off and you're done the game. So this is a really interesting statement, and it turns out the interview is true because sites have started reporting this. So yeah guys, that is the interview. It's little bits of information that actually makes you more excited for Ultra Sun and Moon. Like, I know we had Mewtwo and X and Y, but that was, I don't even know what was up with Mewtwo there. I guess he left Cerulean Cave and he went in another cave. But the idea that you're gonna be going through Ultra Wormholes and through portals that are gonna lead you to like different Earths, I guess, that are gonna have all these legendary Pokemon, it's kind of the Hoopa thing done more solid, because some of the speculation we had for the Hoopa thing is that when Hoopa makes you encounter, for example, like Virizion, it's like Hoopa was just having fun. He took all the legendary Pokemon from their standing spots and make you encounter them. So if this is kind of the same idea, where you could go through an Ultra Wormhole and you could actually fight for Mewtwo, which is a confirmed one, and some other legendary Pokemon, that'd be so cool. And we already know that when it comes to these Ultra Wormholes, that you don't just touch the freaking portal and then the Pokemon comes out and battles you. At least for the Ultra Beast portals, you can actually go in and explore the Ultra Beast area. So how cool would it be if you actually found a special portal, and when you go in, it's not just Mewtwo battling you, but you actually go into a new area and you find Mewtwo standing there. It's little things like that that actually give the Pokemon feel. Like if you guys remember in Black and White, where you had the Victini event, and in Diamond and Pearl where you had the Shaman event, it wasn't just a Shaman distribution. You actually had to go, and it was like a little extension of the story. If you never got the Oak's letter, there was a piece of the story you could never go to. It was like that for Darkrai too. Beside Cresselia's island, there was another island, but you could never go to it. I think that was the Pokemon feel done right, because after Black and White, they just started distributing them. And for example, Marshadow, it's so cool to see everyone getting their Marshadows this month, but then it's not like you get the Marshadow serial code and then an area is unlocked where you can encounter Marshadow itself. You're just given it, and that's actually not the Pokemon feel. The Pokemon feel is actually playing it and being able to see the Marshadow and capture it. So I'm wondering if they're realizing this, and when it comes to these Ultra Wormholes, if they're actually gonna make it so that you go in the portal, and maybe it's not Cerulean Cave, but it's an area, and you save in front of Mewtwo and you talk to it. You guys know what I mean, right? Let me know if you agree with that. Alright guys, so let me know your thoughts on all this in the comments below. I think it's really exciting that the story's gonna be twice as long. I guess when you mentioned that, if someone does ask whether to play Sun and Moon or Ultra Sun and Moon, they should just play Ultra Sun and Moon. So the world is normal, and then this three-fingered beast comes. Okay, sure, a long time ago, Alola was cloaked in darkness, yeah. But people say that's when Alola's people and Pokemon blasted the darkness away with light. The omens are unmistakable. It's extremely rare, but sometimes a hole opens in the sky over Alola. Shiny darkness approaches. Necrozma, the one who wields light to its will. It would steal all of Alola's light. There's Necrozma. There's Lunala. And there's the dead Lunala. This isn't what? The champion? The Alola that I know. Right? Let me hear it. You thought you knew. Oh god. Look at that, dude. Maybe when you bring out the best in others, it helps you find the best in yourself too, huh? That's a lot different than I thought you said. Mother, if you disappear too, run away. That thing is a monster. You know, it really makes you think. What did Lucamine see? Guzzlord? Okay, that's the freaking Ultra Wormhole riding. And Necrozma, right? Okay, go grapple it. Grapple the light. Thanks a lot, buddy. Okay, so obviously you guys should recognize that trailer. It's the same one we saw in Japanese, but we never knew what they're saying. Now we know. For example, Guzma, he seems to be talking about, in the Japanese trailer, they made it sound like he was talking about like joining sides with the enemy team. But in here, it sounds kind of like a cliche statement, like you gotta bring out the best in others to bring out the best in yourself. It's also at the altar of the Sun and Moon, so no one really knows, does he join up with the evil team or not? Because it kind of makes sense that he doesn't, because of the way Sun and Moon went. You know Guzma is supposed to be a good guy. So it would make sense if you just get the development of Sun and Moon quickly, with Lucamine turning good again and Guzma turning good. And then you need all these guys' help in order to take on the Ultra Recon Squad. Yeah, guys, that trailer is actually epic in English. They make it sound like this game really is so much more different than Sun and Moon, which, if you see the interview that we just covered, it is. Of course, this trailer doesn't deserve its own video because we've seen it before, but let me know what you think about how the story of Ultra Sun and Moon will progress with different characters like Guzma, whether he'll be on their side or our side, and how, for example, Lucamine's gonna work, because that Lucamine scene looks like where she turns the Cosmog into a Cosmoem and leaves, but except she's on the floor and she's calling something a monster. And it's not Guzma she's calling a monster. It's like a Guzzlord or something, you know? Or actually, it would make sense if Necrozma's the monster. Yeah, guys, let me know all this in the comments below. Be sure to leave a like if you enjoyed this video. And as always, guys, I'll see you on the next video. Peace.